Hello, sister travelers. Well, do you need a SIM card or an eSIM to use your phone while traveling abroad? So much confusing information out there, so let's see if we can clear that up in today's episode. Welcome to Solo Travel Adventures for women 50 and older. I'm Cheryl Esch, your host, solo travel advocate, freedom traveler, and coach. This is your passport to adventure. So if you're considering getting a SIM card or an eSIM for your travels so you can utilize your phone, whether it's for data, calls, or texting, there are a few things you want to make sure you research or ask yourself. First of all, a lot of this does depend on your provider. So does your provider already offer an international plan that might actually be cheaper? For example, I have T-Mobile, and my international data and texting is included in my plan. Now, you want to call your provider and see what is included in your plan and how much they do potentially charge for international use. I'm in probably a grandfathered in plan that may or may not exist anymore, but it's also part of their 55 plus people that have plans. So the only thing that costs me anything extra is if I do want to make a phone call, but I can use data and texting for free as part of my plan. And don't get alarmed, I only pay $35 a line. I was originally part of another plan that I think I had to pay just like $25 extra for the month to include international, but that did change. So now it's actually included and I'm just charged for any international phone calls that I make. Now I used to have Verizon as well, and Verizon is very expensive. I've paid out the wazoo for some of these, not knowing or just not wanting to be bothered with getting a SIM card or an eSIM. And I know that's part of the hassle of all this. So that's why I'm saying ask your service provider, your mobile phone provider, if there's something they already offer. But Verizon's really expensive. It's $10 a day. I think you can actually pay a possible flat fee for a whole month. I can't remember what that was, but I know $10 a day was really expensive. So I know that for a fact. I also know that in some countries, in general, there's a higher expense to just in general. For example, in Canada, their international texting rates are like 90 cents per text. They have probably one of the highest rates in the world because that's just texting, which is part of your data. But you could also check to make sure on the type of phone you have and will it accept a physical SIM card. And if not, then you have the eSIM option. So to ensure that you have a phone that does, maybe accept physical SIM cards, not all phones will. Some of the few that I know that do have what's called a dual SIM phone that does allow you to have two phone numbers, meaning your phone number. And then when you get a actual physical SIM card, you are assigned a different phone number. And so these phones allow you to potentially have both in play. They are Samsung Galaxy series, the Google Pixel 8 series, Motorola Razr Plus, OnePlus, Galaxy again, A54, the ROG phone, the ASUS Zen phone. So there's a few out there. Mostly it's going to probably be your Android based. I have an iPhone and I don't have dual SIM capabilities. So instead, what I could do are a few options. I could download an eSIM card, or I could bypass even needing an eSIM and utilize an app called WhatsApp, right? If I wanted to make some phone calls. The downfall of using WhatsApp, though, I mean, it's a great tool, but you have to be connected to Wi-Fi. And honestly, when you're out and about in a town, you're not always going to have Wi-Fi capabilities. You might have it where you're staying, or if you find a cafe where you can use their Wi-Fi, great. But it's not going to be, always available to you, right? So you are limited in using WhatsApp. You also have to make sure whoever you're calling is also on WhatsApp, and your WhatsApp would actually still utilize your personal phone number that you signed up for on that app. Now, there are some SIM cards, physical SIM cards you could buy that do include calls, data, and text for a reasonable price. A lot of times you could go to a supermarket where you're staying, probably not the airport, that's going to be a little more expensive, and you can purchase one of those actual SIM cards to put in your phone. And again, you would get a different phone number with that, though. And don't lose your original SIM card, because I do remember when I purchased my information, my phone plan with T-Mobile, there was a $30 charge for my SIM card, right? So if you happen to lose it, you likely have to repay that. Now, to talk about eSIM, very easy to download. The most popular eSIM company out there is Airalo, AIRALO, and they offer like 200 plus different eSIM cards, ranging from local, regional, or global. They have everything from Japan, UK, Italy, Spain, or just kind of like a European one, Canadian one, Turkey, China, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Colombia, Netherlands, Thailand, Peru. They have it all. And so you start by downloading the app and you choose your destination and the package that you want. And then you are given the opportunity to install your eSIM and then activate it. It's instant connectivity. It's can be purchased really from anywhere. It has global coverage. It's affordable too. So we check that out. And that would be your option, probably your best option. That's pretty much the main name that I've heard people using when they talk about getting and downloading an eSIM. And that's usually the company they go through. So that would obviously, in most cases, be a much cheaper option, especially if you're going to be somewhere long term and you're doing a slow travel or so. Always consider getting a SIM card of some type, unless you have T-Mobile like me, and it doesn't, it's all included, and I don't have to worry about that. What I do love about that is that I don't have to worry about changing or making sure it works. So there is a recommendation that if you do set up an eSIM, that you download it before you go, because then it's using, of course, your plan, your data, and not utilizing maybe Wi-Fi or data somewhere else wherever you are going. So I would do that first to get yourself, make sure it works as well before you end up in a country with no cell service and no ability to maybe even use your Google Maps or something like that, or your GPS. So there is a lot involved, but there are options, ladies. So consider first, what does your current mobile plan offer you as far as international? 2, make sure and check on your phone and see if it does accept whether it's a dual SIM card, physical card, or if it even just accepts a card. Now, there is some talk about if your phone is not paid off, that it can be locked. I've heard that they've kind of done away with that, I think. But even if it is, you can call your provider and have them unlock it so that you could utilize a different SIM card with your phone. And then check into the eSIM possibility as an easier way, instead of having to worry about physically changing a SIM card or potentially losing your original SIM card for your phone. So I hope that helps clear some of that up. There's a lot more. Also, there are YouTube videos, and you could also Google a couple things. How to, change out your physical SIM card if that's something you're needing to do. And then also there's videos on tutorials on how to also download the eSIM. They also walk you through it if you download that app that I talked about. So I hope that helps. And I'm just feeling very fortunate as I'm going to be headed out to Portugal and Spain in a few weeks that I will not have to worry about that. I don't plan to make any phone calls. I'm actually going to be hiking, so I probably won't even be using my phone a whole lot. So best of luck. Make sure you look into all those factors that might determine what you need to continue having mobile service internationally, because we all live and die by our phones these days, so we can't be without them or without service. So definitely make sure you get that information before you go and get that set up. Have you ever wondered what it takes to start a podcast, or you've had this idea for one and don't know how to get started? Well, I'm here to share how I got started about 2 years ago. I actually had a podcast prior to this one, which was a total flop. But then I got some guidance from a wonderful woman called Stephanie Gass, who provides courses and expertise in how to start a podcast. And I used one of her courses, two of her courses actually, and I have been able to successfully produce this podcast that I know that you are enjoying, because the numbers prove it. I get people responding positively, and I am grateful for that. And I am grateful for Stephanie for guiding me through that process. So if this is you, maybe you have thought of an idea, and podcasting is still booming, folks. So if you're interested, she is hosting a free 5-day podcast bootcamp. I want to encourage you to sign up and just find out what it's about and see if it's meant for you.
What's up, new friend? I'm Steph Gass. I know you just heard a little bit about me, but I wanted to personally come on and invite you to the Profitable Podcast Bootcamp. This is a 5-day challenge, so to speak, for those of you who are interested in podcasting or who already have a podcast and you want to know how a podcast works to grow an audience or make money online. I promise you it's so worth your time. And this 1 hour per day live challenge is going to give you everything you need to know about why podcasting works, how to make money from a podcast, how to make sales really easy, and so much more. We're giving away swag, door prizes. We even have scholarships to my courses and programs valued at over $10,000. So we just wanted to come on and invite you to be part of this challenge. Head right now over to stefaniegass.com/bootcamp. That's stefaniegass.com/bootcamp and get registered right away. You'll get entered to win free swag. And the best part of all is you're going to learn how podcasting can potentially be a way for you to truly grow, make an impact and income in an online business, and allow you to have that freedom and that fruit of not feeling like you are tied to social media 24/7 or having to do 100 different things to figure out a way to be successful for the kingdom of God. This is going to lay all of those pieces out for you in alignment with your faith. Again, stefaniegass.com/bootcamp.